Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
And TGIF, thank God it's Friday. We're all here together once again and getting ready to dive in and get the show started. We thank you so much for being along with us. Welcome aboard. It's another edition of the Coffee Hour, and we're going to be here for a whole full hour. And every Friday at this time, we come into your homes, your office, or wherever you congregate, and we have coffee, donuts, and a lot of great conversation and a lot of fun to have right here, right throughout the show. So we thank you so much for being along with us. And thus, just in case you're just joining us for the first time, let me explain that each week when we come in, we try to get you involved in the show because we have people who have been here long before you. But remember, you're just as important as anyone else. So we get you involved in the show, and you can talk to us live while we're here, and we'll talk to you back. And of course, what we do is as we get the show started, I get the show started by doing what I'm doing now, setting things up. And you can type in at any time using your computer, your iPhone, or even your tablet, or any other device that has a computer screen and, of course, a keyboard. Just type in whatever you want to say, and we will acknowledge you because it's free exchange of opinions and ideas. That's what the show is all about. Now, once we get started, we are going to get into a lot of other things. I'll tell you about that in just a few minutes. But get involved in conversation, and you can create your own conversation. If there's anything in particular you want to elaborate on, of course, feel free, and we'll try to get it all in, and other people will see you as you see them. And of course, chatting with me, you could chat with people who come in as well. You're all here, and we're all friendly people, so that's what it's all about. Now, we ought to know that you come on 3 different places. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We're live right now. And because we're live, that enables you to talk to us. And so any 3 of those particular items will get you there. The ones I just mentioned, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you're watching us for the very, very first time, please, and even if you're not watching us for the very first time, you already know the protocol. Take time right now to tag all your friends on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, tag them all. You tag this show to them, and as many as you want, the more the merrier. If they see what they like and what they hear when they come in, of course, they'll be back again and again. But when you send it out, they'll know it's coming from you. They'll trust you, and all they have to do is click on to the notification that you send out to them, the tag, and they'll come right in automatically. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's very simple. All you have to do is just drag your mouse over there with the point the arrow over where it says subscribe down at the bottom there. Click onto it, and that's all it takes. There's no money, no fees, no nothing involved. All you have to do is just make that simple click. Now, the reason why we want you to do that, first of all, we want to see how many people are actually following us. People who are going to be around with us for a long time. It makes you a full-fledged member. Not only that, now that you have clicked on to subscribe, from here on in, now that every time we come on, and just in case you forget about the show for some reason, you'll get instant notification. Even if we so much as post something like a video or something, or anything that's active, it will give you the instant message, and all you have to do is click onto it, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel, automatically right there. So please take the time to subscribe to us right away. As I said, it doesn't cost anything, and it doesn't take that long. Just a matter of a click, and you're in. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, well, you don't have to do much. All you have to do is just keep the word spreading to all of your family and friends and your relatives, and let them know that we're out here, get them involved as well. Now, you can do something similar to tagging your friends. All right. All you have to do, if you're watching us on YouTube and Instagram, cut and paste our link, right, directly to the place that you're watching right now, right? So if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us on Instagram, click the link and then cut and paste it, and then send it to all of your friends. And you could do that right now as well, and they'll see that link and they'll click onto it. They'll know it's coming from you because you're friends, and it'll bring them right here to us. And just like the people on Facebook, if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll be back again and again. And we do hope that would be the case. So there you go. You have all of that going on. And of course, while we're talking to you, we're going to be doing our own little thing. We have our own little program going on that we add on in conjunction with talking to you. What we do coming up not too far away in the show, just minutes from now, right in this particular half hour, we're going to call on Brian Camp. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, we're going to link up with him. You'll get a chance to see him. You'll get a chance to meet him. And if you have any questions or anything that's sports related that you want to talk about to him, please feel free to ask him. He'll have the answers for you. You can do that when he's here live. That's coming up not too far away. And of course, that'll be here, and that'll be it. That's all you have to do. It's just as simple as that. Now, those of you who are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, as I said, you'll get a chance to see. But if you're watching us on Instagram, that won't be the case because we're not designed to do that right now. I hope sometime in the future that would be possible to do that. However, in the meantime, you'll be able to hear it. You'll still hear them. You won't see them, but you'll hear them. And you can still do the same thing. You could still ask questions. Just type it in and we'll see you and we'll relate all of the questions to him. And it'll be simple as that. Later on in the program, too, we're going to talk about movies. As you know, each week we talk about movies. We send you where, of course, we give you information on what to watch over the weekend because the weekend is coming up. And just in case you want to take part of your weekend to catch up on some old movies, of course, we'll get a chance to give you information on where you can go. We have our own picks, and we'll tell you more about that later. That's coming on right here on the Coffee Hour. And remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet, or any of the broadcast facilities. So that out of the way, let's do what we normally do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get our cups, lift them up, because what would the Coffee Hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Nice and cold. This is coffee. Only it's iced coffee. You could see the frost there. See, write my name or anything on there. And anything you would like. Regular coffee for you, that's good. You can have tea, you can have orange juice, milk, whatever your favorite beverage is. Have it with us right here on the Coffee Hour. This is good. I decided on iced coffee because presently here, we're coming from New York. That's where we originate. And here in New York and other parts of the Northeast, we have what we call a heat wave. It's a tropical heat wave all around. We have intensive heat. And we're trying to do things to cool off and relax ourselves. And one of the things that if you're in the area where you have a heat wave, please don't do anything strenuous. You know, stay hydrated. Do the best you can. You know, don't, you know, if you're going to go out to exercise, make sure it's indoor exercise rather than outdoor exercise. I had all aspirations of going to the gym this morning, you know, when I woke up before I came here. But I said, you know something, I'm going to skip the gym today because when I woke up this morning, it was 77 degrees in New York City. That's hot. It's hot. And speaking of hot, we'll talk about our weather forecast. And those of you who want to join in the conversation too, we advise you to, or we ask you to at least give us your weather forecast and let us know where you stand as far as your weather is concerned. And it doesn't have to be a full-blown weather forecast. It could be something like, you know, a little emoji, a sunshine emoji. Give us like maybe partly cloudy, high 90 or whatever it is, give us something light. And if you're living in the vicinity or even in New York City, somewhere in there, don't worry about that. you dodged the bullet because I will take care of that for you. I will read the local forecast that's coming up. I have that for you. But the rest of you, you're out of the country, you're out of the state, you're in different parts of the world. Everybody's weather is different. And the reason why I ask, and it's not really mandatory that you do so, but the reason why I ask is because I want to compare notes to see what our weather is for the weekend. We don't have a bad weekend coming up here in New York City. We'll tell you more about that later. But, give us your weather forecast. We want to say hello to all of you who are watching right now. We want to say hello to Warren coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Warren, good morning to you. Mary Reed out of Brooklyn, New York. She's feeling the heat along with me because she's in New York. Warren, I don't know what your temperatures are right now. If you can give us something out there. I know Brian Camp will be here. He's out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He was telling me yesterday he was into his 90-degree weather, as we were yesterday and as we will be today. So, yeah, we do have the heat wave coming along. I don't know if your humidity is higher, because when we get high humidity here in New York, we really feel it because we're surrounded by water. But you guys who live in the desert or something like that, you don't have to worry about the humidity, just the high temperatures. Now, there's a difference between having high temperatures, heated temperatures, and humidity. And you have the combination of both, you really feel it. So do that for me if you get a chance. If you want to indulge in conversations, give us your weather forecast. We really would appreciate that. And we're going to be doing that. Yeah, a lot of things to talk about today. We're in the month of June. We're almost out of the month of June, as a matter of fact. You already know that. It's almost finished, and we're almost ready to go into the very, very month of May. Yesterday was the first day of summer, and so we're officially into the summer months now. And a lot of things are going to be happening along with the weather. You're going to be doing a lot of outdoor activities, which is, of course, expected for everyone to do, being that this is the summer months right now. And if you're living in New York, we've got a lot of places to go. We got Coney Island, we've got the beaches, we got a lot of things. And of course, if you're living in California somewhere, you've got the beaches, depending on where you are. I know out in Santa Monica, which is my favorite place in California, the beach is right there, and it's great. So you're going to be doing a lot of things. Cookouts, all kinds of things are happening. And in the month of May, we're celebrating a lot of things. A couple of days ago, we already celebrated Juneteenth. We didn't mention it. We mentioned it last night, but Juneteenth was Wednesday, and we mentioned it last night. So one of the things that we were celebrating was Juneteenth. Also, we're celebrating National Portuguese Month. Those of you who are from Portugal, who live there now, yeah, we do broadcast there. And those of you who actually live in the United States and have from Portugal and living here in the United States, well, of course, we're celebrating that month. It's a national thing that's going on. So we celebrate National Portuguese Heritage Month. And so if you have any thing that you want to talk about that goes on in Portugal, or you want to know something that's taking place, events or anything, let us know. We want to celebrate with you. We're also celebrating Caribbean American Heritage Month too. Guys out in the Caribbean, a lot of people are out there visiting, and people who were from the Caribbean who live here, we celebrate that. I know maybe there's a lot of celebrations there. You could tell us about that too. Give us some history about the Caribbean, or anything you want to do. It's your time to shine right here on the Coffee Hour. If you run into a radio disc jockey or a club disc jockey, salute them and give them thank them for their services, because we're celebrating National DJ Month as well. All of the guys who have played the music, introduced you to the music, introduced you to the hits, those are the guys that are responsible. So this is a month that we're celebrating all month long of June. Is National DJ Month. Also, we've got African American Music Month. And as I always say, you don't have to be African American to enjoy African American music. Music is music, and everyone enjoys whatever music they like, and they get into the opportunity of playing or listening to the music. But this month is African American Music Month. And when I think about that, I think about jazz, and I think about Motown, and I think about gospel, and all of the root music that sort of blossomed to all of the music that we listen to today. So that's what we're celebrating too. It's also Pride Month. We're not going to forget that too. A lot of celebrations, a lot of parades. A lot of people are going to be out there in full force. In New York, I know they usually have the parade. I don't know if they had it yet. I don't think so, but they're celebrating, and there's a lot of activities going along. If you know a lot of activities, let us know so we can convey it to others in case anyone wants to join in. But it is National Pride Month. Also, we've got National Arizona Day just today. National Arizona. So if you live in Arizona, you can't make this stuff up. If you live in Arizona, that's what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate your day with you. It says national. And I know you're in Arizona. And speaking of Arizona, if you happen to be in Arizona and you're watching right now, and if you're going to indulge in conversation with us, let us know what the weather is like. I'm interested. Now, Arizona is desert, so you don't have to worry too much about humidity now. But anyway, we're going to celebrate that. We got National Arizona Day, and it's all right here. We're celebrating all of it right here, nationally here, and it's happening right here on the Coffee Hour. So again, thank you so much for being along. And just in case you're just joining us, that's where we are at this particular point. And we want you to stay with us for the full hour. And there's going to be a lot to talk about. As I said, not too far away, Brian Camp is going to be along with us, and he has the latest developments in today's world of sports. And again, one more time, just so you'll know, we want to get that information from you about your weather forecast. If you're outside of New York City, we would love to hear what you have as far as your weather is concerned, because we want to compare notes, right? Those of you, again, who live in the vicinity of New York City or somewhere like that, you don't have to worry about that. We've got that covered for you. We have 85 degrees right now here in New York City. Would you believe it? And it's here on the East Coast where we are. It's after 10 o'clock where we are right now. And it's 85 degrees already. And we're going to go up. And we've got our forecast right now. So let me get it started right now. It's not going to be that bad of a weekend. We had a couple of good strings of weekend last weekend, the weekend before. It was nice. So this is what we have coming up for this weekend. I hope you enjoy it. Do the best you can with it, because this is what it looks like. Now, for today, we have sunshine and clouds mixed together. It's going to be hot. It's going to be high around 93 degrees. Nice humidity out there. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Try to do things to cool off as much as you can. Stay hydrated. Go into the cooling systems. Watch out for the senior citizens. Make sure they're okay. And try to stay out of the sun as much as possible. And if you have to go out there, drink plenty of water. Can't stress that enough. For tonight, we have a few clouds developing. We'll have a low near 75 degrees, and we'll have winds light and variable. So there's no rain in the forecast up until when we get tomorrow's forecast. It's still going to be up there in humidity. It's going to be partial cloudiness early, and then we'll have scattered thunder showers and thunderstorms too. I don't know how intense that's going to be. I don't suppose it's going to be that intense, but that should cool things down a little bit. And that'll happen all in the afternoon. It's still going to be hot though. We'll have a high around 92 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the chance of rain is only 40%. So, kind of figure, you're going to be out for a long time. Take the umbrella just in case, And for Saturday night, we have showers in the evening. Then it's going to be partly cloudy overnight. We'll have a low 77 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain, again, 40%. So that's not a big percentage of rain, but you never know. And as we wrap up our weekend and we rest on Sunday, that's the day of rest, the Sabbath day. And of course, Saturday is also a Sabbath day too. You know that, right? Saturday and Sunday, they both Sabbath days. But for Christians, Sunday is a Sabbath day, and it's going to be partly cloudy in the morning, followed by scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon, and we'll have a high around 94 degrees. But you should be able to be in the house and just taking care of them, stay cool out there. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. another 40% chance of rain. So right throughout the weekend, it's only going to be, when it does rain, it's only going to be like a 40% chance of rain. So take your chances out there, ladies and gentlemen. And again, please stay hydrated. As far as our heat wave go here in New York City, I understand it's going to last up until maybe about Tuesday or so. And then it'll start to cool down, maybe not much, but it'll cool down a little bit. And then I guess at that particular point, you could start going back to the gym or doing your exercises outdoor or however that take you. But again, you know, when you do your exercises, proceed with caution, okay? Really proceed with caution because it's going to be hot and you don't want to overstrain yourself. We don't want anything to happen to you. Right now, we're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina right now. Brian Camp is on the line right there, and he's here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. First off, Brian, I already told you my weather forecast. We have a heat wave here. What do you have?
Wow. In the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, if you have a heat wave, then we have a furnace wave.
Wow.
Not that bad, though. No. Right now is 77 degrees here in the Queen City of Charlotte, going up to 91. It's going to be a steady 91. Sun all day. So make sure you wear your sunglasses or whatever to keep yourself cool or stay out in the shade. Or if you want a little tan, then you go out there and just have fun. And this is the time of the year where the pools are available. The barbecues, of course, you know, out here in North Carolina, if you don't know how to barbecue, then you're in the wrong state. You know? But yes, it's going to be a beautiful weekend, a busy weekend for myself personally. So, you know, just can't get that time for a full week of rest, but
yeah, we must mention that mentioned on last night's show, but this is a whole different audience right now. You just got back from a cruise. How did it go?
It was wonderful. I was on the Icon of the Seas. That's the world's biggest cruise ship in the world. It's a beautiful ship, and they had lots of food. It's unbelievable. I had 15 lobster tails in a 3-day period because they served it every other night. So I had 15. You just love it, you know. They had filet mignon, you know, that was so tender, so good. I started to go back to the area where they make the food and ask them for the recipe because you know how I love to barbecue and get it back on the grill. But it was just great. The cruise was great. It took a third of the day just to tour the ship and everything. So, but other than that, it was a great ship. Went to Honduras, went to Cozumel, another part of Mexico too, Castamaya, I think it's called. And we went to Coco Cay. That's the beach that's owned by Royal Caribbean, where they had a DJ. They was playing all the 70s hits, all the Motown hits. They was playing the 80s, 90s, you know, up to date. Was, you know, just in the pool drinking my pina coladas. Don't drink. And it was just a wonderful time, you know, just a wonderful time. Me and the wife, we went. She had fun. I had fun. Then she said, okay, I'll see you later. I said, okay, because I know where she's going to go. She's going to go to the casinos, play the slots. And what I like to do on a cruise, I like to go to these here trivia games, you know, Michael Jackson trivia or sports trivia, you know, things like that, movies and stuff. So it was great. It was great. Really, really great. Enjoyed myself.
Well, now that you started gloating and making the rest of us feel bad, thank you for that, by the way. Okay, what's happening in the world of sports today?
Okay, what's happening? First, I want to say good morning to cousin Warren and Mary and to whoever else is out there. Good morning. If you're out there listening globally, nationally, and locally, I greet you. Good morning. In sports, the NFL, Tom Brady was inducted into the New England Patriots Hall of Fame in a sold-out ceremony inside Gillette Stadium with owner Robert Kraft, announcing that Brady's number 12 will be retired and never be worn again. Also, a 12-foot statue of Brady will also be unveiled during the 2024 season, one of their home games where Brady will be honored. Boxing, Ryan Garcia has been suspended for 1 year by the New York State Athletic Commission, while his decision victory over Devin Haney has been overturned to a no contest following a positive test for PEDs. PEDs is performance enhancement drugs where they try to give them self-advantage. That's illegal in sports. Garcia also forfeit $1 million to Golden Boy, that's the company that he's involved with, and was fined $10,000 by the commission. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics for winning their 18th NBA championship. They stand alone as the top organization with more NBA titles than anybody else, surpassing the LA Lakers as they beat the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5, 106-88. Jaylen Brown wins final MVP for his outstanding play. So congratulations to him. So Celtics stand alone. This day in sports, 1939, Lou Gehrig retires from after doctors reveal he has I can't say the name, pronounce the name, but it's the disease, it's a rare disease that killed him, known as the Lou Gehrig disease, and he retired right then and there. 1950, Joe DiMaggio gets his 2000 hit, a seventh inning off of Chick Peretti. 1964, everybody should remember this one. I was 2 years old. 1964, Phillies Jim Bunning hurls a perfect game on Father's Day, defeating the Mets 6-0. That's a historical day for baseball fans because it happened on Father's Day, and they keep on reliving that. 1970, FIFA World Cup final, Brazil and Pelé becomes the first team and player with 3 World Cups. 1986, 1985 Heisman Trophy, Bo Jackson signs a 3-year contract to play with the Kansas City Royals. 1990, Yankee Stadium rally, Nelson Mandela dons a New York Yankee cap and proclaims, "I am a Yankee." I remember that. That was, he came to visit the U.S. and was wearing a Yankee cap. And 1997, the WNBA begins as the New York Liberty beat the LA Sparks. Birthdays on this date, 1907, happy birthday to William Shea. He's a lawyer and was the instrumental in establishing the New York Mets in Shea Stadium. So the name comes from him, William Shea. He was born in New York City, New York. 1956, happy birthday to Rick Sutcliffe, Major League Baseball pitcher, born in Independence, Missouri. Happy birthday to Tom Chambers, NBA forward, born in Ogden, Utah. Happy birthday in 1967 to Derek Coleman, NBA forward, Rookie of the Year in 1991, went to Syracuse University, was born in Mobile, Alabama. Happy birthday to Frank Vogel, NBA coach, born in Wildwood Crest, New Jersey. And happy birthday in 1980 to Richard Jefferson, NBA forward and ESPN broadcaster, born in Los Angeles, California. Yes. Now, many of you want to know what's in my background. There's 2 men that really inspired me. You know, I don't worship people or players or anything like that, but you know, there's 2 men in my life over the years that really push that I really have great respect and honor for. First was the late Muhammad Ali. Not what he done in the ring, but what he did outside of the ring. We know what he was in the ring, but what he stood for. And he is the greatest of all time. And Willie Mays, as we know, just passed away on Tuesday. The old Negro League had a special ceremony yesterday. The is the old Negro Field. Forgot the name of it, just like that. I think is Rickfield Wood Stadium, something like that. It's the oldest stadium in the United States. Was built in 1910, and as you know, Negro players was not allowed to play with white players because of segregation. So you had great players like Cool Papa Bell, Josh Gibson, and Satchel Paige and Willie Mays. Willie Mays is one of the greatest players to me. He is the greatest players of all time. Now, I did not see Babe Ruth, neither anybody else right now see Babe Ruth, but I believe for me, baseball started in 1947 when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, where baseball was integrated finally. And that's when you see all these stars start coming out. So to me, Willie Mays, what he did on and off the field is amazing. Willie Mays used to, in Harlem, would play with the kids in the morning, in the afternoon, play stickball for 2 to 3 hours. And you know, we all seen the videotape. And then he would just buy them ice cream afterwards. And then hours later, he would go home and get dressed and take a walk. Sometimes he'll walk to the Polo Grounds to go to work. And his work was being a Major League Baseball player for at that time, the New York Giants, before they moved to San Francisco in 1958. And Willie Mays was a guy that shared his story about being in Alabama, where he would face what Jackie Robinson faced. You know, Willie Mays he did not talk about it a lot, but yes, he went through the same thing as Jackie Robinson. Some of the players that were with him that were all white would protect him and everything. And, you know, his thing was, you know, I'm going to still do this. I'm not going to let hatred stop me from playing. So last night they had this, you know, they just redid the field. They brought the fences in a little bit because the dimensions are like 400 and 500 feet, but they brought it in for today's Major League dimensions and everything. So much history. Barry Bonds, the son of Willie Mays, was very emotional. So many stars like Ken Griffey Jr., they were all there. They had a special there where they danced, they laughed, they did what they did back in those days in the South for Black culture. And it was so great. And history was also made last night where they had an all-Black umpire crew. First time ever that ever happened. So I'm not gonna spend too much time. I know that I had plenty of time last night, but I know this is the coffee hour. So I just want to say thank you, Willie Howard Mays Jr., for what you brought to baseball, what you meant to me and to fans all over the world.
You know, along with Willie Mays, you know, who was an American hero, Muhammad Ali and Jackie Robinson and all those African-American players, I equate all of those guys. Those are the guys, and you don't have to play baseball. You don't have to play sports. You can be in any kind of professional position that years ago African-Americans couldn't even enter, you know? And so with guys like Willie Mays, Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, musically Sammy Davis Jr., all of these guys got their uniforms dirty. So we wouldn't have to, you know? And I only brought that out. I know this is all about Willie Mays, but I just brought that out as the American heroes that opened the door for a lot of other young African-American people. And I thank them because I didn't have to get my uniform dirty. I mean, I did get my uniform dirty, but not as much, you know. And I hope that, you know, a guy like me or somebody, you know, my age would go through whatever we have to go through or whatever we went through over the years. So the people behind us, like the millenniums, they don't have to make it a little more easier for them. But yeah, Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, and can't leave without saying this, but I did have the pleasure. I didn't, just like you, I'd never seen Babe Ruth on the field. I didn't have that pleasure, or that privilege to see him play. But I did have the pleasure and the privilege to see Willie Mays on the baseball field. And, I can live to tell that story. Unfortunately, the younger people today who are here today who do like baseball didn't have that luxury like I did. So I am glad that I grew up in an era I did, and I was able to watch Willie Mays.
Yeah, and that's why Warren corrected me. It's called Rickwood Field Stadium.
Yeah.
That's in Alabama, and that was I want to take a trip there. I still want to take a trip to Kansas City to visit the to the Negro League Museum in Kansas City. I'm still going to do it. I don't know when. Supposed to do it in September, but I'm going to see when I could go and see. But it was really great. This is why we celebrate Juneteenth also.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On Wednesday. Just a reminder of what we went through, and we have to stay composed through these trying times.
Yeah.
There was one preacher that was in the Negro League. He's 99 years old. He was there, and he was a World War vet. He's a pastor still preaching at 99 years old. And I mean, I was almost touched by him as much as Willie Mays was, and what he had to sacrifice as well.
Yeah, but it's just for someone who's younger listening right now, we're coming up through a tough time right now, because we're in a situation right now where they want to ban certain kinds of literature. So take your history away so you don't get a chance to see that, which of course that's not going to happen. We're not going to let it happen. You're never going to forget Willie Mays. No one is ever going to forget Willie Mays. No one. I don't care how much you try to put it out of the consciousness of your mind, you put it out in your mind, but that's not going to happen. He's in history and he's here to stay. That's all.
It was like that. It was like yesterday was, even though it wasn't his official funeral or his going home service, but last night seemed like this was the night to celebrate of him living and what he accomplished on the field, with all that music and the dancing and everybody coming together. It wasn't a big crowd, a big stadium, but it was, I bet you it was a lot of viewers though that was watching on television though.
I think he was supposed to have been there too.
He was supposed to have been there, but he said he'll watch it on television. Yeah. This is why I say life is so short. Yeah. He did not go. He said he wasn't feeling well. He wanted to watch on television. And I think maybe God knew, okay, it's time for you to come home to me. And he wasn't supposed to be there. But, this is their way of saying that we're going to celebrate you, Willie Mays. What was supposed to have been for the Negro League, which it was, it was also a homegoing service, in a sense, for the great Willie Mays.
I wonder if somewhere down the line, I'm just throwing it out there, that they will retire number 24 permanently. I'm just throwing it out there.
It would. I don't think they will, but it would be nice. Jackie Robinson has that. Let's leave that for Jackie Robinson for what he did. That was the purpose. Yeah. As they do Willie Mays, I would embrace it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they do it though, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Because there's people saying, well, Roberto Clemente's number should be retired as well too.
Yeah, that's true.
And I love Roberto Clemente. But let this be for Jackie Robinson, because he was the one that went through the BS. He was the one that went through with the physical abuse and the racial slurs and the racial thing, like Bill Russell did in the city of Boston as well.
Yeah. Oh, Bill Russell had it tough in Boston. Oh my God. But the retirement of number 42, that's not just in baseball, right? That's all sports, isn't it?
No, just in Major League Baseball, no
Baseball.
42 ever again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just had to ask. I didn't know, but that made a lot of sense, just baseball.
Yeah.
It's been a week. It's been a week, and the remembrance of Willie Mays will go on even after this show is over. Just keep thinking.
Well, Jerry West also, we just lost another icon last week too.
That's
So
right.
We lost 2 icons. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Brian, welcome back. Welcome back to the States. And
Nothing like sleeping in your own bed.
sleeping, it doesn't, no matter how far you roam, it's always good to come back. It's always good to come back. All right, we'll catch you back here next week then.
Everybody be safe. Enjoy Mary and Warren. I hope you all have a nice weekend. I know I will. But most of all, stay cool.
That's the whole thing. Okay, we'll talk to you next week. Take care of yourself. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's here each week at this time. And of course, it's always good to talk about, especially this week. It was good to talk about the legacy of one Willie Howard Mays, number 24. Wore that number 24. And I said something about retiring the number from, right throughout the league. But it's one thing for sure that it's retired. I believe it's retired. Number 24 is retired at Shea Stadium, the Mets and the Giants. I think the Mets retired it too, number 24 for Willie Mays. And so, and that's it. But he was an awesome player. And of course, I was always glad to see him out on the field when I was a kid. And but then baseball was something else it was great to know baseball and to be in the midst of baseball back in those days. That was called the American pastime. And as Brian and I always spoke about it before, that baseball is not as popular as it was, not as popular, but I hope they bring the American pastime back to where it was, back like it was in its glory days, where people could go out to the stadium and just enjoy. But back in those days, we didn't pay a lot of money to go to see the games. It was cheap back in those days. Box seats back in those days when I was growing up as a kid was only $8. But even then, that was still, but that was good. $8, you save up $8, you go there, and hot dogs weren't as expensive as they are today. I don't know what they charge for a hot dog today, but I would imagine if they're charging a lot for the hot dogs, there must be gold in them there hot dogs. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be with you for the entire hour, most of the hour. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, please tag your friends and get them in on it for whatever amount of time that we have left. Just tag them and they'll see a tag and they'll come on to it. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, don't worry about it. Just tell your friends about it. But you can cut and paste the link and send it out to your friends. The same thing you can do there on YouTube. And YouTube, you could also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this way, you get a chance to know whenever we come on live, you get instant notification. That's the good thing about YouTube. So thank you again for being along with us. R&B singer Angela Bofield has died. Angela was known for her songs, This Time I'll Be Sweeter, I Try, and Angel of the Night. She died last Thursday morning at her daughter's home in Valley Hole, California. Bofield began recording as a teen, and she released her first studio album called Angie back in 1978. She was 70 years old. Actor Donald Sutherland, the longtime actor known for his movie The Hunger Game and more films and television role, has died. Sutherland died Thursday in Miami after a long illness. Sutherland played Mr. Benton in Pride and Prejudice and Hawkeye Pierce in MASH. and countless other notable films and roles in the movies like Ordinary People, Invasion from the Body Snatchers, and a lot more. He was 88 years old. Angelina Jolie is halfway to the EGOT status. The Oscar-winning actress took home her first Tony producing The Outsiders, a musical based on S.E. Hinton's classic 1967 coming-of-age novel of the same name. A win for the best musical, bringing her much closer to being one of the only 15 performers to have won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony. Everything is bigger in Texas, so they say. You could just ask George Strait. Country music icon made history with his concert at Kyle Field in College Station last Saturday night, playing a record-breaking 110,950 fans. The show set a U.S. record for a ticketed concert previously held by the Grateful Dead with its 1997 concert at Raceway Park in New Jersey. Singer Justin Timberlake was arrested early Tuesday on Long Island Sag Harbor in New York. The pop singer faces a DUI charge related and is expected to be arraigned on Tuesday morning. The circumstances of Timberlake's arrest weren't immediately released. Timberlake is set to go on a global tour that will support his 6th album entitled Everything I Thought I Was. And that happens in June. Singer Billy Ray Cyrus is seeking a temporary restraining order against his estranged wife, Fire Rose, amid their divorce proceedings. Cyrus filed a petition for a divorce from his musician wife, Fire Rose, whose legal name was Joanna Rose Hodges. And they did that on May 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee, according to court documents. Cyrus also alleged that Fire Rose spent $96,986 over 37 unauthorized charges on the his business accounts. And that included the $70,665,000 in payments for her attorneys. Birthdays: golfer Scotty Scheffler, who's been in the news lately. He's 28 years old today. Actress Meredith Baxter is 77 years old today. Actor Bernie Kopel, who played on The Love Boat, he played the Doctor. He's 91 years old today. Singer O.C. Smith, the late O.C. Smith, would have been 92. Musician Lola Schifrin, or Lola Schifrin, depending on where you're from. He is 92 years old today. Actress Judy Holliday would have been 103 years old. Actress Jane Russell would have been 103 years old as well. Pianist Frank Scott, who did that hit, remember, back in the 70s. Well, no, he played with the Lawrence Welch Show. He played piano on the Lawrence Welch Show. He's no longer with us. He also would have been 103 years old. So that's what's happening in entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, all of you who are watching, thank you so much for joining us here on the Coffee Hour. Please let us know about your weather forecast if you kindly would, if you indulge in the conversation. And of course, that would be great. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, now for those of you who continue to watch us, like Mary and Warren and all of you out there, you guys who are watching us on Instagram and YouTube as well, thank you so much for being along. We always ask you to join us in conversation, and if you don't want to join us in conversation, you just want to sit back, relax, and watch the show, that's fine and well and dandy too, and we really appreciate that. But if for some reason you want to get in touch with me, well, you could do that. And you can do that by two different ways. You can do that by my email address and my telephone number. So I'm going to take the liberty right now to give you my email address. And so if you can take that down right now, that would be great. My email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. That's a very important detail. Prod is P-R-O-D, that's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Okay, the telephone number, 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, fine. And you may want to get in touch with me for a particular reason. That would be great. Maybe you have a birthday coming up. Maybe you do. Okay. And if you do, you want us to convey that to others, and all you have to do is just get in touch with us. Or maybe you want to critique the show, you want to talk about the show or anything like that. Maybe you have ideas about our show and things that may be a good idea that all of us can enjoy. That would be great too. And we'll take everything in consideration. We really would. So get in touch with us and let us know what your feelings are. I'm going to give you that email address once again. It's frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number once again is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Mary looks like she's taking off because she's wishing me an awesome weekend and she wants me to stay cool. And I'm trying to do that right now. It's going to be hard to do. And I suggest that everyone do the same thing. If you're in an area where you have the heat wave, stay cool. I have my iced coffee. But you know something? You want to stay hydrated with water. And I can tell you right now, if you're drinking coffee, I want you to know that coffee dehydrates. It does. It dehydrates. All right. It's all in your mind when you say, I got iced coffee, so I'm going to be cool. But coffee actually dehydrates because of the caffeine. So coffee, alcohol, and those kind of things, they dehydrates. Salty thing dehydrates. So you want to drink plenty of water. And so do that as much as you can. Okay, stay cool, Mary. If you're leaving us, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week, hopefully. And again, if you're just joining us, it is the coffee hour. And of course, we're going to be with you for the balance of the show. You already know, coming up next Thursday, not too far away, we got 6 days away. We've got the Biden Trump campaign. Well, you know, they're campaigning for their job as president of the United States, but they are going to debate. They're going to do a debate. Now, this is something a lot of people are looking forward to for particular reasons. All right. Debate is coming up, and Biden and Donald Trump are going to go at it. Only this time, they're not going to go at it. There's not going to be a live audience, no one to cheer you on. There's not going to be a talking over each other because your mic is going to be muted. But I have a feeling they're going to try to find a way to do that. You know, Donald Trump more, you know, he's good at that, you know, talking over people, trying to dominate everything. But he'll be doing it with a closed mic. And we're going to see how that works out. We'll see how it's going to be interesting how that works out. But he's not going to have a group of people cheering him on, which I find that interesting because he's not worth a nickel when it comes to doing something like this without, of course, an audience. Because every time, of course, when he goes out on the campaign trail and does his rallies, of course, he has an audience out there. Audience, of course, that backs him. No other audience outside of the people that he relates to. And so none of that is going to happen on this debate, and that's going to happen on Thursday. And CNN, by the way, is going to be conducting that. And so we're going to be on the air when it goes on, I believe. But we're not going to take up the whole time. Now, last night I said something about 3 hours. No, it's not going to take that long. I think it's like going to be, like a 90-minute debate, a 90-minute debate. And so some people say, well, that's not going to work out too good because they don't have an audience. But if you go back in time, those of you who are around my age and older, remember the 1960 when they had a debate with John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. Remember that? They had a debate. They didn't have an audience. There were just two of them in the studio with the moderator, and they were going at it that way. So that's how it's going to be right now. And I think this is going to be good. I think it's going to be. I think I like it this way better because Donald Trump more will not be able to dominate anything. He won't have a crowd to cheer him on. But is it possible that he want to back out at the last minute? I don't think that's a wise thing for him to do if he has that in mind. So hopefully we'll see what happens next week. That's next Thursday on CNN, and they're going to be conducting the Biden debate. And also, I learned on the news that Steve Bannon lost his bid by the court, by the appeal court. The appeal court denied him because he asked, try to escape jail, but they denied that. So he has to report July 1st, and he's going to be in jail for what I think for 4 months. 4 months. And that's not going to do Donald Trump any good because he's got to lock this boy up for 4 months. All right, 4 months. So he has to report by July 1st. And he can't ignore this one because if he does, they're going to come and get him anyway. And then he's going to have to go out with cuffs. So he says that he's still going to appeal. I don't know why the appeal court said no anyway, but he wants to appeal anyway. So let's forget about that. He's going in and he has to go in July 1st. Also, speaking of the month of July 11th will be the sentencing of Donald Trump. That's the New York sentence. They're going to figure out what they're going to do with him, what his sentence is going to bring. We don't know what it's going to be. A lot of people say it's going to be jail, it's going to be another form of incarceration, like house arrest or something like that. Maybe even, who knows, parole officer. You have to see his parole officer or whatever it is, or I don't know. It could be a variety of other things. We don't know what the judge have in mind. So we're going to have to wait to July 11th. We'll see how that's going to go through. Maybe it's a hefty fine, but that didn't work. We saw the outcome of that. That didn't work, hefty fine. So none of that is going to work. We'll see. But that's up to the judge. And if I were him, I'm not going to say what I would do if I were him, but that's up to the judge and we'll see how. But I must say that the judge was very lenient with Donald Trump more, very lenient and very nice to him. Although Donald Trump more thought opposite. So all of this coming up, and of course, by the way, the second, I think the second debate, we have one debate that's coming up. I think the second one is in September, but stay tuned for all of that. Unfortunately, I don't have any movies for you. I didn't have any last night because I didn't find anything actually worthwhile. But I will send you over to Turner Classic Movies where you can go through the program guide and check out movies that you may possibly like. And you can go there, and then while you're there watching on the demand channel, you could check out a lot of things too. They have a lot of free movies. They have pay-per-view movies out there, movies that are in the movies theater right now, movies that were once in the movies theaters and no longer there, but you have to pay a little. You pay less than the movies that are in the theaters now. Documents, of course, great documents, and of course, children's program, Lifetime movies, sporting events. It's all right there. And then if you're a streamer, you have a lot of things to choose from. There are a lot of things to choose from. So there's a lot of things to do. So I don't have any movies for you. I will next week have some. It's a rare. This rarely happens, but we have movies coming up for you next week. But this week we don't have any. But please go to Turner Classic Movies and check out some of the movies that I didn't particularly pick out, but you may like, and you may like them, and I hope you do. There are a lot of films, like classic movies, that we pick out for you. But we hope that whatever you find that you enjoy. And we do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. That's going to wrap it up for me because right now, at this particular point, my weekend is officially underway. But we'll be back here on Thursday, next Thursday, even though the debates will be going on. We'll still be on the air anyway. Brian Camp will be with me as well with the music of sports, the wonderful world of sports on Sports Update. And I hope that you will be here too as well. And then again, come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more coffee hour. Brian Camp will be here with me again for more sports. And we'll talk about a lot of things. And we look forward to seeing you as well. And ladies and gentlemen, until that time, we hope that you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and enjoy yourself and have a nice weekend. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.